Oh, what a doozy, this song. Oh, it's always, this is just, we spent so much money on getting this this specific track. Chris, did you know that this track was actually the original Rocky theme was going to be? Like, that's what they set it on, but for whatever reason, they went with Eye of the Tiger, but that was going to be the original one.
Thank God they did.
You don't like it?
Not for Rocky though.
Yeah, I mean, maybe who knows what it could have been. Hello, my name is Dan Pacheco, Director of Agent Development, and also host of this beautiful podcast called We're Number One. I think we are currently ranked number 3,644, so we are coming up on the rankings of Spotify podcasts. But we're number one in an industry that, of course, where everyone says they are, right? Yeah. But today I'm actually with the number one guy right here. His name's Christopher Baroulette with the Baroulette Collection with Preferred Real Estate Brokers. Chris,
hello.
What's up, man?
Hey, nothing much, brother. Everything is going well,
dude. Your voice, like everyone's voice, sounds like really good on the condenser mics, but like yours is like I want you to do to read me an audiobook or something. Like I want to buy your voice.
Then I should be doing these voiceovers, man. Side hustle, right?
Man, seriously, it's a damn good sound of voice. But man, thanks for being here today.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me. Man.
Absolutely. Awesome. I mean, you were an obvious person that we wanted to have on the show here for I think probably 644,000 reasons. Mm-hmm. One of them being is because kind of your success. I mean, not kind of, but definitely your climb, your success, and what you've morphed into in real estate, which we'll talk about deeply here in a minute. Here, you are seriously one of my favorite personal success stories at Preferred Real Estate Brokers, where you're out of.
Oh man, awesome.
It's a beautiful thing you've done, and I know that's meant a lot to yourself as a human being, to your family, and to those you work with, which again we'll all address here in a minute here. But first things first, I have to recognize the fedora.
Oh yeah,
I have to recognize the fedora here, man. I mean, that you look damn good in a hat.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
So is this something that you wear like everywhere you go? Is this part of your vibe, your icon, your style? What is it?
Well, I've got a little bit of a collection of
fedoras. That's gonna be a buzzword. People don't know it yet, but they're gonna hear collection here in a minute. Here, I like that.
But I have a bit of a collection. Okay. And it was something that this is kind of like just my style. I know a lot of stuff has changed now. People like to throw on maybe the blazer more of a casual shirt or something like that, or maybe the dress shoes with the sneakers. But one of my things I always did was like I just threw on that fedora, man, tip it to the side, and that was me. So I mean, I kind of go out. So I have actually a pretty nice collection kind of built up. Yeah. And so I don't know, man, whenever I'm gonna be kind of going out, doing something, enjoying food, drinks, we have a lot of phenomenal places around here in Orlando. I don't know, that's just where I kind of like to show my style, man. So it was actually funny because I saw someone the other day that they were just like, oh man, I haven't seen you in forever. You always had the hats, right? The hats.
That was hat guy. Yeah. Yeah. I love stuff like that you're going to incorporate into your look, because I mean, one, again, obviously it looks good and you rock the hell out of it. But second of all, it becomes something that you're kind of known for. Right. Like, you're was it Chris or the hat guy? And that's a good thing. That's a good thing, because I mean, faces and names are, even though they're ours, right? Nobody else has your face. Somebody else has my face. They're the last things to kind of be recognized when it comes to remembering a brand or a business, right? I mean, you have a hat. A hat is a lot easier than remembering your face or your name, until you become that icon in their lives, and then it's the whole package here.
Then it's the whole package. I think it's the recognition is great too.
Now, I mean, you mentioned having some for going out. Do you have like a when you're gonna be like a bad bitch one, like when you're sassy fedora, or you're strutting the town? Like what's that one look like?
That one might be. Oh wow, almost shut the water there. Did drop the water. That one might be. Oh, I've got this very nice. Okay, this is a beautiful.
Describe it to me with your voice here.
It's black.
Okay,
with a nice beige pinstripe kind of throughout, and it's going down, up and down, right? And then there's this really great skull kind of with wings, image thing right on the right. So when you say bad bit, I'm like
that's the one. That's the one. I love that you already knew. This is the one. I love that, man.
Yeah, I've always loved something with a little bit of style and a little bit of flair, to that. So
I want to drop your soundbite here.
Ow! Okay. Oh yeah. So I've always loved something.
That's great
with a little bit of that to it.
I love that.
Yeah. And classic, but then bold.
Dude, that's actually that's a great description of you. Quite honestly, seriously. And again, for those of you that somehow don't know of Chris or what he's doing right now in Central Florida real estate, you will for sure in this podcast, and I'm sure you've seen this stuff out there too. But the reason I mentioned that it'd be kind of or surprising, the skull part, right, is because one of the things I love about you is that while you're really good at business and you definitely are someone that gets it done, you don't walk or come out with this a really aggressive like machismo, like Wolf of Wall Street, like, you know, like boiler room, coffees are closed. You don't come with that energy. No. It's so chill and so good, like just so good. And I love that.
One of those. I do have one of those though, because sushi is for closers. Like,
all right, I can rock with you on that one.
It's actually like one of the number one ways. Whenever we, you know, have a closing at the collection, the family, we go, we celebrate. All you can eat sushi.
Oh man, I love that.
It's for closers.
Okay, I will walk with you on that one, man. I like that a lot, actually.
No, so yeah, I do have one of those. But I think, you know, one of the things that just for me, and I picked up over the years, I've done a lot of sales, a lot of consultative sales with folks, and you know, it's all about, man, rubber meets the road, my brother.
Right.
Like, you can talk a big game and all that, but you know, it's all about, you know, your actions and kind of what you do. So it's funny, you know, because I guess they talk about where, you know, in a business where you're constantly, you know, needing to get, you know, new clients or new people coming in. But it for me, it's about, you know, what I'm doing for the people, you know, when they're there, like, what are we doing, you know, for them, taking care of them. And they're, well, a lot of times, you know, we're building a home. So we're kind of looking at that, you know, over months.
Yeah.
You know, but that's kind of the whole thing. What am I doing for them? The other day, I had a client where, we kind of had closing push today.
Okay.
And it just created a lot of toughness on the logistics side, right? Because they're setting up moving and all different stuff going on. And, you know, it's a simple thing. So don't get me wrong, but it's just an example that, you know, so they had to push the next day. There's deliveries showing up. There's stuff showing up at the house. So instead of, you know, me being there with them at closing and kind of, you know, doing that side with them, I was at the house, you know, watching, you know, packages, collecting, you know, deliveries that were coming, and just kind of, you know, out there for hours, because it's kind of the best thing I could do for them in this kind of, you know, rough time. They're trying to, you know, shift this and change the delivery date on this and do that whole thing. So it's just the little things like that for me, you know, like, what are we doing, you know, for our people?
And that's a huge thing, Chris. I mean, I think that's what you're kind of, you know, describing there is the foundation of the Baroulette collection. Right. And so for people that don't know what the collection is, and I love it again, is how that kind of like, it's so marketable. It's so cool. And it means something. It really means something, right? So tell the people out there what the collection means. And when you say join the collection, what are they joining? What's that whole thing look like?
Got it. Okay. I think for me, you know, one of the biggest things that I looked at, you know, in real estate and what are people doing? I know there's definitely a back end to the business of running the business, but you know, what are we doing, you know, for our clients? And a lot of them talked about, you know, kind of seeing or talking and doing everything with a realtor in the beginning, but then like not a lot in the middle, and you know, just basically kind of seeing them at the end, you know, and just kind of there ready, I guess, to collect the money or so, as they kind of make us about. But you know, so I kind of started to look at and develop what do I want to give to my, you know, clients, those that are entrusting me to kind of guide them. What am I trying to give to them that's more? And one of the things I also picked up, and again, these many years of sales, is that, you know, every client is like a fingerprint. Everyone is different. So
truly,
we listen more than we speak, you know, so that we can truly understand, you know, what the client is looking for, what they're going through, so that we can specially curate their customer service experience, like you would curate an art collection or a collection of some sort.
Oh shit, that's powerful.
So you meticulously.
I don't mean to be so uneloquent, just drop the S word right here and describe something so beautiful, but I love that.
Well, you know, you meticulously care for your hats, you meticulously care for your art, you watch over your you know, collection.
It's about care. It's about cultivate. Oh man,
so
I love that.
That's really what, you know, that kind of birthed that and came from that is, you know, every client has a different thing going on. So I want to, you know, listen to every bit of that to get to, how we're going to solve that problem, how we're going to get, of course, to the end, whatever the goal may be. So how can you do it all in just one way? How can it all just be one way? It can't. It just can't. Everybody is just that
it's like
different.
a Rembrandt to a Van Gogh to a Dali to Pollock to whatever it is. Right. Everything is a massively different style and signature look and vibe, but it's still fine art and beautiful and wonderful, right? And that's man, because I've known you and worked with you for blessed for a few years now. I love finding this, like the nuances and stuff, because I'm aware of the collection, but hearing you describe it that way, Chris, I'm a fan all over again. Because but seriously, let's elaborate that and think about that, right? Yeah. It's a very popular feeling and belief that the customer is very transactional, or the deals are, of course, the transactions are transactional. Go figure, right? But they don't have to be. Okay, just because it's in the name of what they're called, they don't have to be transactional. I love that what you're saying is because everyone in your collection, in a sense, is going to be appreciated, right? Just again, like that, your customers are your fine pieces of art, the stories of success, which listen, they're not always, people don't come to real estate, a realtor for, or, always a celebratory thing or a happy thing. Sometimes it's sad why they're having to move, or challenging. Right. And it's still emotion. And just like every piece of art isn't, painted with the brightest of colors and sunshine, there's a lot of, be comfortable, man. What do you want to do? If you want to pop the head off, unbutton a button, what do you want to do, man?
No, but I got it. Just need to adjust this a little bit.
I love that you have that individual appreciation with them in their details, their stories. And once that closing's happened and they're up there, then you're still caring for them. You're still checking in with them. They're still a part of the collection. And that is, that right there, ladies and gentlemen, and whoever else you may be, that's all you really need to know about Chris. If a wild pack of dogs comes to the studio right now and rips us both to shreds, or the internet goes out, that's all you need to know about Chris, is that's the level of care that he has for his customers and his people. That's beautiful, man. That seriously is.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So real estate. Okay. So great. You're in it. But
well, it's one of those things that I think, one of my things is people kind of look at us as, salesmen.
Right.
I think a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Because I'm a guide at best.
Well, that's the thing. But a lot of times it's earned, though, that the perspective of people not trusting the realtor, that's an earned perspective from a lot of agents.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I will agree with that.
They will go in, they will have that commission breath, and they will, treat it very transactional, and they will be, sometimes unscrupulous. But like you said you're a guide at best. Elaborate for me on that.
Well, I'm here to go, as far as the client or person wants to go, and I'm here to keep you from the pitfalls. I'm here to show you probably the best place, and you can put your attention and put your money, showing you, what's going on in the area, the trends, what's next, what'll be the next hottest thing in the next, for the next 10 years. So that's really a lot of what we do. I think is that it's more of, this guide.
Right.
You can, if you're a person that I guess, has the information, works somewhere near the industry, doesn't need, the expertise, doesn't need it, then, great. That's fine. Get out there and go get it. But there are a lot of folks, I find that they feel most refreshed when I'm just there to, give them something that they didn't know and before.
That's a huge part. And like we can go, I actually want to pin that idea as something they didn't know, because you specialize in new construction. Well, you sell everything, you specialize in that, and we'll get to that in a second here. But let's break it down. we have just because you have an agent saying that they're going to be your guide for you doesn't mean that they're going to be a great guide. Okay. Because there are agents sometimes out there that, are like the hashtag empathy and stuff without really meaning it. Right. But girl, not empathy. Like you mean it, you walk with it, you work with it. But there are some agents out there that claim to be a guide, but imagine you're, having a hiking guide. Okay. Right. And so you've got all the stuff packed up in the backpack. They're wearing it because they're your guide. And all of a sudden that son of a gun just takes off sprinting down the trail with all your shit. He's like, follow me. Yo, whoa, you're moving way too fast. Where the hell did he go? Oh God, he has all my stuff now. Shit. Right? Because they're on the trail with you, they're carrying the stuff, but they don't know how to walk with or work with the people, their paces and their needs of who they're guiding. And that's where you come in. Yeah. That's where you understand that, and you're like, hey guys, yes, I am going to be your guide. we're going to be going at your pace here. I will be setting up camp for the night, right? I'll be your chef as well. I'll be doing everything that you need to have a good experience, and also keep you away, keep all the bears and the wild coyotes and the kangaroos and whatever the else is out there away from you.
Right.
And that, I mean, that truly is you, because again, here I am having the ability, having the majesty of getting just to know you and be around you, and and work with you and stuff over a few years now. And I know I can't tell you, like, I'm going to break the wall here and look at the camera. This guy right here, he is the real deal when it comes to wanting, if you want somebody that's going to have your best interest in mind, like every step of the way, like in the way that you need it. This is Chris. Right. That's you right there, man.
Yeah, that is definitely me.
Whatever he said, I'll take it. Yes. I'll hit that. Ooh, ow. Right. So let's talk a little bit about what we mentioned before is, something that they didn't know. And I mentioned new construction. Okay. Yeah. Now listen, just because it's built new doesn't mean that it's built right. Well, okay. And I think it's a lot of things that sometimes people, mistake of, oh, it's a new community that just went up, and it's, brand new. I'm the first one to live in it. So it has to be, well, perfect, right? Because there's standards and there's code and there's all these things they have to go by and all these check marks. Not really. I mean, well, like there are
even in the case, things can happen.
Yeah. So talk to me about, like, take the consumer advocacy side to me and talk to me about, like, the real raw deal about new construction. Like, you're good at selling it, and the people that work with you end up well. But I mean, just because, again, like I said, it's built new doesn't mean that it's built right. So talk to me a little bit about what that looks like.
Right. Well, anything can kind of happen. Certain things can happen, and some properties have their own particular charm, just maybe for where they're located, the lot, how they were kind of built up, that kind of thing. Just the other day, I had someone where there was a little bit too much downgrading in their driveway, so builder needs to kind of come back in and redo it. So it's almost just like, yes, even in some of the best situations, things can happen, but that's why we stay on top of that and kind of look at that to make sure that hey, this is going to leave a lot of water coming towards the house. You guys really need to change this up or do something different with that. Inspecting the home properly, whether, making sure you get someone out there to take a look at, inspect the home so that you can kind of be sure.
Well, I mean, won't the builders say, like, hey, listen, we have our inspectors, like, it's just use our inspector?
Yeah, I mean, they do have their inspectors, but I don't know, exactly what they're looking at or what they're looking for.
Right.
And, some of the people that, I've worked with for some of the years, and I know for them that they're working for you in your back pocket. So they kind of are really looking at the home in a way that they don't mind sticking a big list in front of a builder's face, and saying, hey, get this done.
Right. Because it's not uncommon for you and your people to have like pre-drywall inspections or, so that's not a common term, especially for a lot of consumers out there, people that want to buy a home. What's pre-drywall inspection? Why is it important in this case, Chris?
It's definitely important because it's just it's basically the last part of where you see the home in frame. And so just after your kind of three major trades, which is like your HVAC, AC, your electrical, and your plumbing, they're all done. There's a lot of other little things that kind of do go along with that, but it's kind of these three major things. Once they're all done and throughout the house, and the house is now kind of ready to be sealed, insulated, and ready to go before they're about to put that drywall on. So that's why I say, pre-drywall. And there is a final inspection, or not, kind of a final frame inspection, I should say, that happens around that time that they've got to pass. But it's a perfect opportunity if you have your own inspector to come in, do the house right at that time, because then they can actually get some things done that before they get that drywall on. Maybe there might be something that is interior that you can't really ever see.
And that's the deal. And you're wondering why 2 years later, 6 months later, after you move into the house, that your grout's cracking in the upstairs bathroom because, well, crap, things just keep bowing. They weren't built correctly. And I mean, I've seen it, and I've had some of my own personal properties. I've had it to come to find out that they laid the subfloor beams the complete wrong direction. They're supposed to be going this way. They went this way, the entire floor. I'm like, oh my God, no wonder everything's cracking, right? Yeah. I've had, drains in the primary shower that, again, like the floor just kept bowing and giving. And after 3 or 4 times of them coming out and, repairing the grout or whatever it is, it's like, clearly it's not a grout problem. So what happened? And we found out that in order to make the drain flush, again, subfloor, that they extended it with a piece of cardboard, not PVC, not metal, but they used cardboard because, I mean, let's break it down to why this stuff happens. Right. I mean, especially, in the pace of the market and the demand for new construction over the last, 2 years. So in, 2020, 2021, 2022, it's been a really high demand product as new construction. And so these companies, a lot of them, you know, not all of them, but a lot of them, you know, they were subjected to those increases in inflation and, you know, construction costs. And so they're still a business. They have to pay for those things. So they're paying more, but because, like I said, they're still a business. They're watching out for their bottom line. And so what they pay more in one area, they detract in another, right? So if they can check out. And so the pace, you know, how fast things are going, the oversight involved, you're going to see a lot of this stuff. Obviously, not in every place, but that's why it's so important to work with you, Chris, because again, like you just said, like you have like the Clark Kent, you know, you have the Superman, you know, supervision of saying, you know, this grade in the driveway looks a little off here. Like you see that stuff, and that only happens because, I mean, maybe some innate, you know, God-given ability, but also again,
right,
you know,
working with so many different properties, different homes, and it's just something that an average person doesn't get a chance to do.
Right.
So I'm constantly seeing these little different things happening, and saying, oh, okay, and watching out for and looking out for the next time, every inspection report. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I get to learn all these different things for free, you know?
Yeah, man.
Because kind of, but you know, it's like they're giving these reports. I'm seeing the different things that are being missed constantly, you know, regular basis. So it's just this building this kind of database of, you know, what to look for, what to be paying attention for, what to be doing when you're doing this. So yeah, it's important, I think. Even sometimes as good of who your construction manager is, you know, can sometimes these guys, they know, oh, well, you know, even though we build this house this way, if I move this truss, you know, 2 inches on this day, you know, it makes it better for when I'm trying to do this next thing afterwards, you know? So it's definitely important to have, you know, a good builder, one that has a strong, you know, with your construction manager, and even still you trust, but you verify. And we're going to get that inspector in, and we're going to make sure we take a look at the property, make sure it's the best. I want my people to have the utmost confidence in their home. My man. Now, you know, I think maybe the ones who like I help that they're like doing it from afar, you know, so when we're building a home and they're off in another state, you know, they benefit the most, but it doesn't matter where you are. I'll always do this. And I film all of these different, you know, stages and points of the home. And then those clients get that so that they have that on record. So that's another thing that they have, film footage of that pre-drywall time. So they know where different little things are in the walls, things like that, as well as they have it on record. They can show this is what it looked like. This is what, you know, just in case, if anything. So yeah, these are different things that, what are we doing extra? What are we doing more for our people? And so I constantly do that. I've, you know, invested in the drone. I've got the drone equipment so we can see the house from above, aerials all around. We can do that. You know, making sure just that, because if you're off in somewhere, right, you know, New York or Jersey, wherever you are.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
in our market, we have a lot of people buying still sight unseen from someplace else in the world.
Coming from someplace else. So I wanted also for those people, you know, to make sure that they had just everything they could possibly need. They can't necessarily jump on a plane. They can't, you know, come all the time. And even if, again, they are out in town, I still want them to have that record.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because I mean, you might be, you know, to your point here, the way it's so cool on video. Hey, you're out there, you're walking through in person and stuff, but you might miss something, or you might see something, but forget whatever it is, right? Having that video there allows you to go back and what was that? What was that? Pause. What was that? And that's why it's so that's why it's so cool. Talking about video though, and this is one of the reasons why, again, I'm so, like, you are just like in the Hall of Fame as far as my mind of, like, you know, success stories with you know, who I get to work with here. When you and I first met, you were a man of great belief, creativity. There could be more out there, right? And you were at that time getting, you know, having leads, you know, buying leads and stuff, and you were doing a pretty good job of converting them because you are who you are, right? But now you're known on YouTube, you're known on TikTok, you're known out there. The Baroulette collection is a bigger thing; it's a brand now, and I love it. I remember that first call, and we cheers to this. Of you saying, "Hey Dan, I got my first call from your own original content," and I love that. I love that moment. I love the work you put in, because it's meaningful to go. I mean, and yes, again, like I said before, you were having good success closing people because you are who you are. But something different happens when you go out there and you're so brave enough, bold enough to go take a chance on yourself, be patient, be consistent with the work you're putting out there, the content, the videos, all those things you're doing. But then, Chris, it turns into something completely different when you have people start responding to it, not just positively, but with saying, "Hey, I trust you through your video, or I saw you in the video. I want to sign a contract." That's something so different.
Yeah, it's my chance to show, not tell. You know, I said, you know, you talk a big game all day, right? But it's my chance to show, not tell.
Yeah, man.
And I'm auditioning.
I love that you think of that way. Yes, 100%.
I'm letting them know exactly, you know, who they're getting.
Yep.
And I just had a call yesterday.
Yeah.
Ow. Yes, I just had a call yesterday from a couple, you know, looking to buy into the area, coming well, first out of Miami, then to St. Augustine. And they actually have a family member that is, you know, in the area and is in the business. But, you know, through YouTube and watching my videos, and they said, you know what, I want to, you know, I think they didn't want to necessarily do mixed family thing kind of thing, you know, which is definitely understandable.
Yep.
But just the fact that they chose me then out of everybody else, and this is a guy who like builds homes, like, so I'm like,
yeah, man,
I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I'm getting this call through the family member. I'm getting this call through the, I'm in the industry, and I want to work with you. You know, that's huge. And so, you know, yeah, for me, I think I always wanted to be able to show so that someone who's interested in working with me,
man,
you know what I mean? It's not like I'm just coming to you and just talking this game about what I can do. Like you have a chance to see it.
And I mean, that's clearly evidence again that when someone can, you know, watch a few videos and pick up the vibe that you're someone that they want to, you know, basically put to the top of their list, because everyone knows probably 10 to 45 realtors in their life, right? That's what it feels like.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. And so you can have just a total stranger from wherever they are watch one or two of your reels, your TikToks, or your videos on YouTube, and be like, this is the guy that I think I wanted to have represent me, especially if they're kind of in the industry. That, I mean, that's just, you know, like points, like galore, stars are popping out everywhere. You did it, man. And I just want to let you know that I love seeing that. We love seeing that too. You are doing it so well.
A side of celebration, which is good to announce on this podcast here, my first time, is that we just reached 1,000 subscribers.
Whoa, Chris!
So we are now,
I didn't know that,
able to apply to be a creator on YouTube.
Okay, so what's that mean for you? What's that going to do for you? Like, what's that mean for the Baroulette collection? You know, touch that fist right there.
Yeah, yes, definitely.
Hell yes,
it's exciting. First of all, I mean, just being able to do something from the way that you want to do it, what you're passionate about to put out, and then to have people respond in that way is just amazing. So I'm so thankful to the people that have shown the support for the channel, that, you know, have subscribed all the way up to 1,000 subscribers. So now, you know, I can apply to be a creator. It's going to give me more resources with YouTube. It's going to give me access to certain information and things, help me to create more content, which I do have actually so many, you know, ideas for and things that I'm working on.
So
you know,
excited.
but like, it's absolutely amazing. It's kind of the first, you know, big kind of milestone for the channel that I've been working towards.
It's tremendous, man.
Yeah, it's absolutely tremendous. I mean, it is great to have, you know, people call and say, hey, I'm watching, I'm a fan, I love it, and you know, I want to work with you. Like, that's just absolutely you know, phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. You know, but it is great to see, you know, such a big response, such a good response from people.
That's
and that
huge.
they have, and that they do say that, you know, hear those words. So yeah, it just keeps me going, keeps me looking forward to what's next.
Well, I know you're definitely going to represent that really well, and you're going to take full use of all that awesome stuff that you just unlocked there.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, that's like 997 more subscribers than we have.
Oh my gosh. All right.
But we have those 3. Hey, if 3 out there, if you're watching, thank you guys so much. All right.
Yes.
But no, that's
so look
that's
for
amazing.
me on YouTube.
Yeah, please drop it all.
You can just put that, the Baroulette collection, and you should find me on YouTube. Please subscribe. I would love to see you watch me get bigger, do more.
Hell yeah, man! Because I know, again, it's all going for the betterment and just the overall awesome experience for your viewers and stuff. That's what you do with that kind of thing. It's so cool, man. It's so cool.
Right. It's all about, you know, the information, sharing out what we got going on here in our little part of the world.
I'm proud of you. I mean, this is, you know, cameras, mics, I'll put all that stuff down. Just for me to you, Chris, just think about where, you know, you had no subscribers, you had not even a YouTube presence, and all of a sudden, in a relatively short period of time, you've done this. And I want you to think about this further. Okay, we get into the idea of it being like subscribers and followers and stuff, right? I have, you know, 500 or 1,000 or whatever it is. I want you to imagine 1,000 people standing in front of you. You're on a stage, and what 1,000 people look like.
Right.
They're here to listen to you. They're your fans. You have you have more than that, but just imagine you on a stage right now looking at 1,000 people.
1,000 people. I can't even.
That's amazing, buddy.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
It really is amazing. Thank you, man. Thank you.
So let's talk about some people that are, I'm sure, proud of you for that at home. So you don't roll. It's not just, Chris Baroulette by himself. You've got your own collection at home, man.
Yes,
so, tell me a little bit about what life outside of all that looks like. Tell me what your home looks like.
Home is good. Home has been really good in the past few years. I think, definitely would big to be with PRB and getting that push and that encouragement to be yourself and do what works for you, do what's passionate for you, and reach people on that level. So that was like huge, and that has led to a very good home life in the past few years. Even through pandemic, I would say we kind of did well, the best that we could, homeschooling, all that kind of stuff, because we have 2 boys, 5 and 13.
Yeah, shout him out, man.
So Xavier, who's 13 in the 8th grade, gifted academy, he's doing very well.
That's awesome.
Just went to Paris last year.
Like Paris
with his class, yes.
Like not even like Paris, Las Vegas, but like Paris,
Paris,
like
France,
wayyyy.
Yes.
I sound so culturally intelligent, but that's incredible, man. That's so cool.
Right,
what a way to gain some perspective for him. I mean, 13 or 14, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Dude.
So
good for y'all.
he just recently, right? I said, did I say last year? Anyway, sorry.
You said sometime in the past.
Just in the past couple months, he was able to go to Paris.
That's so great.
We were, able to, go on vacation. My wife and I was able to do a vacation. She did another vacation. So one of the things that we've always talked about is like, hey, we are the foundation of this thing, and we need to make sure that we're okay. And for both of us, we're going. Sometimes I'm just going. I'm in the computer, all the time. I'm looking at houses. I I love it. I wake up every day looking at houses, though. Yeah, I love it though. Yeah. But so we go.
Yep.
And constantly, of course, worried about the business and where I'm going with it, and where getting it up there so that it can do well for the family. And so it's been great just to have the growth that we've had in the past couple of years that has to then translate into the actual family, and being able to support these kind of efforts for Xavier to have that education in Paris, to take time with my wife to kind of break away and de-stress, or just kind of disconnect. We actually successfully put our phones down for like 5 days or 6 days or something like that. So
whoa,
yeah, it was very good.
That's like this day and age. It sounds like, hey, I climbed Mount Everest twice barefooted with nothing but a bunch of saltines. That almost seems impossible to do, but
it almost seems impossible to do, but we did that.
That's incredible. Wow.
Yes, I went fishing in the ocean for the first time, and I'm actually just discovering fishing. So I recently turned 40, and so I'm doing that little bit of a slowdown thing, and I'm like, oh man, I get fishing now.
Yeah.
Like, I understand what fishing is
okay
about.
All right, cool.
So I really want to do that, but so I would just take the trip to go see somewhere new, do some fishing. Like, it's those kind of things. That. But I come back like raring, ready to go, and then I get those phone calls, and I just I start buzzing. It's like it's so like I'm I don't know, kid in the candy store too sometimes, when somebody gives me something to do.
I love that.
So, I get call, and I'm like, okay, great, and I go start just researching.
And that's the coolest thing.
And,
I mean, like again, like it's obvious. I think for anyone that's just watching you, even if they just like tune in for like the last 5 minutes of this interview, the show, it's very clear that you are such a wonderful and just happy and positive person. Like that's just it's so. I mean, it's very genuine too, and that's the best part. Like that's again, I can't tell you guys how much again of a raving fan I am of you, Chris. Seriously, and all that you represent.
Well,
seriously,
that's what I want, is people that are kind of a fan of me, really, to work with me, and that's who I want to work with, that are kind of in need of the expertise that I have and what I do, and yes, and if they don't need that, that's okay too, but that's what I want. I want people that are having a good time with me, because it is so much fun. I think it is to shop for homes, and to see styles, and to see designs and floorings, and all that stuff is so much fun. And I think the accomplishment too, this is maybe something that's not talked about a lot. I think it's like, because, and I even would say now and recommend to anybody, you know, get into the process of looking at a home way earlier now than we've ever did. You know, I would say, like, you know, sit down with a mortgage person 6 months out, a year out, look at your actual profile, talk about that, because I think it's like, it's important, you know. We've got to prepare more to get towards that. But that sense of accomplishment, especially for somebody who hasn't owned before, and then they do all the things that they need to do in that time to then, you know, purchase. Right. Or, you know, or you know, even if somebody did that, you know, has a lot of properties, you know, their next one, the one that they're, you know, doing, right, that's another accomplishment for them. Maybe, you know, 50 properties was their goal that they've been working on for so many years. So it's like that sense of accomplishment and wealth and everything that is built from that is huge. You know, I know that they will get annoyed of us about, you know, own, but I mean, even now in this market that's we're currently in, even from when it shifted 2 months ago, it was still better to own 2 months ago, and it's better to own
without
now.
a doubt. Without a doubt. I just did a talk before we came on the show today about, you know, what does this shift really mean? And it's a buzz term. It's a buzzword that's you know, provoking a lot of fear in the consumer and a lot of agents. But I mean, like, it's not like a shift. It's not like a crash, right? Same thing that's produced a crash in 08 are not the things that are happening right now by any stretch. And like, the people are saying, oh, shift. Listen, like, it was a I would say scalding hot, like uncomfortably hot buyer's market. Like, imagine a jacuzzi being way too fucking hot, right? Too many bubbles, it's too hot. That's what it was. But now it's starting to just get comfortable. Okay. And so listen, I mean, if you're a seller out there, and again, this is September 6th at 12:02 p.m. In the year 2022 AD. I have to say that because things change so fast and so fast. This might be out of date in a minute here. Yeah. But I mean, this is the last, I think, wave of the modern seller's market. So if you're thinking about selling, now is still a great time to do it. It really is. The interest rates, if you're buying, they're I mean, yes, they are going up, but that's comparative to all-time low, like crazy, like a drop. So now they're normalizing. They're going back to what they were in what we would consider to be a typical market. And I think they're still going to be kind of just going up, you know, relatively speaking, trending, you know, then you know what. So now is a phenomenal time to still buy or sell. Right. Because
there's still people out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, and truly, I mean, all of our agents that prefer real estate brokers are, I mean, like literally just a bit different than the rest. Like, you guys are more effective. You go deeper. I love, and generally speaking, I love working with all of you. But if you're watching and listening to this one and you want someone that's, again, if you're picking up on the flavors that this guy is bringing to you, then please, by all means, like, do yourself a favor. Find a friend in him, and then find someone you can go shopping with too to help you buy, sell, or invest, or to guide you. Yes. So, Chris, how do they get in touch with you? I mean, give me everything you have. Give me. You already gave us the YouTube. It's just the Baroulette collection. Yeah. Give me the TikTok. Collection. Give me the email, phone number, whatever you want to give us. Give it to us.
All right. Actually, like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram are all at the Baroulette collection. So you're definitely going to find all of those there. YouTube, you'll definitely also find the Baroulette collection. Can reach me at 407-325-4904. And you can search homes directly, join at jointhecollection.com. I'm also very excited about what's new to come with jointhecollection.com. So please stay tuned for that. We've got a good guy going to be working on some things for us. Very cool. So yes, definitely you can reach me at all of those.
Awesome. Well, Chris, again, thank you so much for being a part of Preferred Real Estate Brokers. Thank you so much for being such an awesome guest on this show. Again, your voice, I need you to read me some books on tape, man.
I'm definitely going to look at this voiceover side.
Come in anytime.
This is pretty good. These kind of mics really make you.
So good. So, I mean, hey, make sure that Star gets to listen to this later, okay?
All right.
Just tune my parts out. But guys, thank you as always so much for watching or listening to us on We're Number One, the podcast. And Chris, give it one more time. Let you press that one right there.
Ow! Ow!
There we go, baby girl. Oh. I have 2 daughters. Sorry. It was a long weekend. I'm just saying that. Sorry for this awkward moment as I put this music and tune us out. Bye-bye, guys. Chris, you're the man. Appreciate you, brother. Rock and roll. Yeah. So sorry I called you baby girl. I didn't mean to.
It's all right.